There's a quiet moment many women face, though few ever speak of it. You're standing in front of the mirror, maybe brushing your hair or folding laundry, and you catch something in the air. A faint scent that wasn't there before. It's not strong, not offensive, but it's unfamiliar. Doesn't feel like you. And slowly a thought begins to form. Is this just part of getting older? Maybe it's a lingering mustiness in your clothes even after they've been washed, or that uneasy feeling when someone leans in for a hug and you suddenly feel self-conscious. Not because you're unclean, but because you're unsure. It's subtle, unspoken, but very, very real. That scent the world calls old lady smell? It's not who you are. And it's not your destiny. It's often caused by overlooked areas of the body that, over time, quietly accumulate sweat, bacteria, and oils. And without anyone ever telling us, these little changes start to shape how we're perceived, and even how we perceive ourselves. I'm Dr. Emily Hart, and I'm here to help you navigate the changes in your body with clarity, confidence, and compassion. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Here we honor your wisdom, your story, and your right to feel vibrant and radiant at every age. I'd love for you to join our community by subscribing, and if you feel comfortable, share in the comments where you're watching from. I find such joy in seeing this circle of strong, wise women gathering from every corner of the world. You are not alone in this journey, and today we're going to talk about the 5 body parts most women over 60 forget to wash, and how just a little extra care can restore not only freshness, but dignity and joy in your everyday life. Let's begin with an area that often goes unnoticed: behind the ears. It's not something you think about much, is it? Seems so minor, but it's actually one of the most common places where odor can develop. As we age, the skin behind our ears still produces sebum, a natural oil secreted by glands in the skin. And because this area doesn't get much air and is rarely wiped or washed thoroughly, that oil can combine with dead skin and sweat, leading to a subtle but noticeable smell. I'll never forget my patient Ruth, a beautiful soul in her early 70s who came to me heartbroken. Her young granddaughter had innocently said she smelled like an old blanket. Ruth was crushed. She took such pride in her hygiene. She bathed daily, wore fresh clothes, even spritzed her favorite floral perfume before family gatherings. But this little comment made her feel suddenly invisible, dismissed. Together, we walked through her routine, and sure enough, the spot behind the ears had been forgotten. It wasn't neglect. It was simply never mentioned, never taught. With a gentle washcloth and a mild cleanser, Ruth began to give those areas a quick daily clean. She called me 2 weeks later, joyful. "Emily," she said, "my granddaughter hugged me and told me I smelled like springtime again." It was such a small change, but for Ruth, it restored something far deeper than just scent. The second area I want to talk about is one that many women feel too shy to mention: under the breasts. It's an intimate space, one that holds history, warmth, even nurture. But also, as we age, it becomes more prone to moisture and friction. This warm, folded skin can create the perfect breeding ground for bacteria, yeast, and irritation. Joanne, a 68-year-old widow, came to me complaining of an itching rash that wouldn't go away. She thought it was just from the heat, something she could live with. But what she was experiencing was intertrigo, a common condition in older adults caused by trapped moisture and friction under the breasts. It's not uncommon. In fact, it's incredibly human. We added a simple but powerful step to her hygiene routine: washing and patting the area dry, then applying a touch of antifungal powder or cornstarch. That's it. Within days, the rash disappeared, and Joanne told me she felt free again, free from the discomfort she'd quietly tolerated for months. Sometimes we endure far more than we need to simply because we don't know there's a better way. But knowledge is power, and so is self-kindness. Now let's turn our attention to a spot that's often overlooked because it seems so small: the belly button. This tiny indentation is more than just a scar from birth. It's a little cave that collects everything: sweat, lint, dead skin, and yes, bacteria. Left unchecked, it can create a surprisingly strong odor, even if the rest of your body is fresh and clean. Mary, 72, once told me that her belly button had its own personality. She was only half joking. She'd noticed an odor that seemed to linger, especially when dressing or during intimate moments with her partner. She'd tried lotions, powders, even switching detergents. But the real solution was much simpler. A warm, damp cotton swab with a touch of gentle soap, once or twice a week, followed by drying with a soft towel, worked wonders. When she came back to see me, she said, "I feel whole again." That one tiny area had been quietly affecting her sense of confidence, and cleaning it didn't just remove the smell, it brought her comfort and allowed her to feel close to her body again. The fourth forgotten area is one many women wouldn't suspect: the scalp, especially near the base of the skull and around the ears. As we age, we tend to wash our hair less often. And for good reason. Our hair becomes drier, more fragile, and overwashing can strip away natural oils. But the scalp still sweats, still sheds, and when we skip washing or focus only on the hair, the skin underneath can begin to build up residue that leads to odor and even inflammation. Lillian, a patient with stunning silver curls, wore her hair in soft waves and only washed it once a week. But she'd begun to notice a faint, musty scent, not in her hair, but on her pillowcases. She thought it might be the detergent or old bedding. We explored her routine and discovered that she wasn't massaging the scalp during washing, especially near the lower neck and around the ears. I suggested adding a diluted apple cider vinegar rinse once every 2 weeks, followed by a gentle massage with her fingertips during her regular shampoo. Not only did the odor disappear, but her scalp began to feel less dry and itchy. Her words, "I didn't know my head could feel this clean without stripping it." Finally, let's talk about the soles of the feet. This one catches many women by surprise. We wash the tops of our feet, sure, but the bottoms? The space between our toes? Not so much. And yet, our feet house more sweat glands per square inch than almost any other part of the body. As circulation slows with age, sweat lingers longer, creating a perfect environment for odor-causing bacteria. Dolores, age 75, told me her shoes had started to smell no matter what she did. She scrubbed them, aired them out, nothing helped. But when we gently talked through her foot care routine, she admitted, "I rinsed them. Isn't that enough?" We built her a foot ritual. Once a week, she soaked her feet in warm water with Epsom salt and a drop of tea tree oil. Then she used a soft brush to clean the soles and between the toes. She even added a light dusting of baking soda to her shoes. The result? No more odor. But more importantly, Dolores said she felt refreshed from the ground up. And there's something symbolic about that, isn't there? Our feet carry us, and they deserve to be honored. So what's the takeaway here? These changes, the subtle shift in scent, the quiet discomfort, the hesitancy to draw close, they don't mean you're fading. They simply mean your body is asking for a little more attention in places no one ever taught you to notice. And here's the most important thing. There is no shame in this. These aren't flaws. They're just parts of the body we've lived in for decades, asking to be seen, soothed, and cared for with love. Taking care of these forgotten areas isn't about vanity. It's about dignity. It's about stepping into your day, into your relationships, feeling fresh, confident, and proud of the body that's walked you through every season of life. So here's my gentle challenge to you. Pick just one of these areas this week. Give it a little extra care. See how you feel. Then maybe next week choose another. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. It's about small loving steps, the kind that say, "I am still here. I still matter. And I deserve to feel good in my own skin." If this message touched your heart, I'd love for you to share it with another woman who might need it. And please tell me in the comments, what's one self-care habit that makes you feel truly radiant? I read every message. this community we're building. It's full of wisdom, strength, and joy. Let's grow it together. You are not forgotten. You are not fading. You are blooming in new and beautiful ways. I'm so proud of you. Until next time, I'm Dr. Emily Hart. Stay well, stay vibrant, and keep honoring the body that has carried you this far, with grace, with strength, and with love.